Nope.
What's up, you guys? It's James from James Reptiles. In today's video, we're going to be giving some snake a bigger enclosure, moving some stuff around, and going over some awesome stuff I got the other day when I did a big trade with my buddy. So let's hop right into it. So, to begin, if you recall, I'm selling off all my dubia. I actually did sell off all my dubia. They were awesome. They definitely generated a little bit of income, helped pay for everything, but you know, my feeder bill's getting smaller and I'm making money in other areas, and roaches just aren't it for me. You know, some people like to breed feeders, and that's awesome. I like to actually work with the animals. You know, if I have the choice, that's what I'm going to do, so that's what I'm going to do. So I sold off all my dubia, so I have this whole area over here of space, and I can rearrange this corner on the left. But basically, this rack right here is not big enough for the tanks I want for my blue beauties. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might have to end up getting a new, a bigger one eventually. But for right now, they're just gonna go right over here. So let's take a look. So right here we have Frederick, my blue beauty. He's gonna go on the bottom, which should be just tall enough for his tank. And then I have that big tank down there, which I snaked you guys in the last video, is gonna go up here. And it's actually gonna be for my ball python. Now, I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for that. I know there's a lot of people who would say, and he's going in like a 50-gallon tank. There's a lot of people who would say, you know, they actually would prefer something smaller. They don't want that big space. Glass enclosures are terrible, blah, 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 blah. And all that's genuine and it's whatever. But for the time being, or not, so he's actually really active, and I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, my ball python likes it, so I'm gonna go. But I've had other ball pythons. They've all just been rocks. You know, that's ball python is what they get the name for. Royal python, because the royalty wore them as a necklace because they don't move. This guy is Steve, given to me by my girlfriend's family. He's like 17 years old, and he loves to climb and he loves to move around. So I'm gonna give him a big old enclosure, and I don't know if it's gonna be set up today because I don't know if I have enough bedding for it, but it's definitely gonna get done soon, and it's gonna be set up. It's gonna be in the spot today. So hopefully you guys enjoy the way that looks, and I'll probably get into that towards the end. I'll probably show you first the new Icepods that I got, and then second a new snake that I got, and then. So real quick, this is a little ghost mantid. My buddy actually gave my girlfriend. She's been wanting one for a while. They're pretty kick butt. Really chill. And mantids are just crazy cool, and she's into that whole, you know, mantids and tarot cards and all this. And this is one of those little fruit flies I eat. So that'll be really fun. Can't wait to see it molt, and I just really appreciate that because, you know, we didn't pay for that. He just gave that to us. So here are my new Icepods. Like this light, this is from my dad. Much appreciated. I'll get into, the next video is going to be just a big old thank you to everyone, and yeah, but thank you. This right here, he gave me 5 dairy cows actually, which is an Icepod that's been on my list to get. I had a couple people who said they wanted to trade for some stuff, but someone wanted some white duckies, and I wasn't about to give them some white duckies because I only have a couple, and the other person just never ended up trading with me. I want to say they dig a lot. Let me see if I can find any. Oh, there's one right there. So dairy cows are similar to Dalmatian crested geckos. Oh, there's a second one. They must really like the moss. Oh, there's a bunch more. So basically they really like, or no, they are a lot like Dalmatian crested geckos where, you know, they're solid white, but they have random spottage on them. So they're called dairy cows because they look like little cows. So he gave me 5 juveniles or subadults. I'm not really quite sure exactly how big they get. And that was again, he just showed up and he's like, hey, do you have these? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, here you go. So much appreciated. I do need to get some more cork bark for that. So I actually took a little deli cup and I gave him a couple of baby V's. So these are my Percelio Hassii high yellows, and this is still the first generation. I bought 10, they gave me 15, one died, so I have 14 left. These are like awesome, they're huge. So I gave him a couple babies this big. It probably wasn't the best idea just because I don't have very many, and you know, this is still the first generation, none of my babies have grown up. But he did something awesome for me, so I did something awesome for him, and I'm sure I can grow those up anyway. So over here we have my new corn snake that he gave me. She's definitely thick, and yes, it is a she. He said she laid eggs for him last year, and he's not into breeding much, so he, you know, is willing to just give me an adult female corn snake. So basically what happened is I was selling him the colony, and he said, well, if I give you a corn snake, can I get a discount? So I was like, yeah. So I gave him this adult female. She produced last year. He didn't want to produce again because of the male that he had. He was thinking it was probably a hybrid of a rat snake, and he didn't feel comfortable selling those. But she looks just like my female corn snake, one of my females. This girl, he said, and I believe it, he thinks it's like an A male, which I'm pretty sure is what reverse means. So it might just be the same thing. What I'm gonna end up doing is breeding it with the male that is paired with my other female, and just kind of see what happens. You know, if they come out all normal, then I'll just sell them as normals, because corn snakes have crazy heads anyway, so they're kind of all head at this point. It's like ball pythons and leopard geckos. Like, you don't even know what's head for what anymore. And I do need to cut her a different bowl. Not that I think she'll ever get stuck on that, but just in case, or at least just cut a chunk of it off with like a razor blade or something. But this girl, little tiny heart on her head, definitely needs a name. So if you guys have any name suggestions, I'm definitely open. Leave them in the comments below, and you know, by the time the next video is up, I'll pick a winner and we'll give this girl a name. Alright, so here's the plan. These two racks, you know, you can set the shelves at different heights. I set them specifically so they each fit 6 exoterras, 3 on each side, and then at the bottom I can put a bunch of baby tubs for babies. So right now, obviously, I don't have a ton of exoterras, and I don't need them. I don't need to produce that many. I wouldn't be able to sell them if I had them. So they also fit these hatchling leopard gecko racks perfectly. So eventually I'm going to get another one for that side next year with those 160 tubs, which are twice as wide for grow-ups and stuff. But for the time being, Frederick is going to go down there. And then this tank is going to go right where he is. The only problem I see right now is that tank down there doesn't have heat. So another thing I need to pick up is a heating pad and a thermostat. I wasn't thinking about it when I bought it, but I'll go pick those up sometime soon. And then in the next week we'll move Steve over, but right now let's move the tanks. So I already ran into my first problem, and I ran into that when I put this rack in here too. It's about 3/4 of an inch too tall to fit on that shelf. So essentially what I'm gonna have to do is take my shipping cups and all that other junk up there and put it down there and put him up there, which sucks because he's angry and I don't want to have to climb on a ladder to take him out. But I think for right now, that's just gonna be the best spot for him, so let's do it. That's probably a bit too much of substrate, but at this point, I don't really care. I know I have an extra thermostat, not one of the nice ones, but it doesn't have to be for this guy. And honestly, I might put the heat cable right there underneath. That might be a pain because the tank's already there. But if I don't, I just have that heat cable sitting around anyway. So I might also have a heat pad. Let me see what I got real quick. So what I'll probably end up doing is just taking that thermostat back there, plugging it into an outlet back there, and then getting a heat pad, and he can have this as his heat side, and Frederick's just gonna be up there for now, unfortunately. So I'm gonna get a heat pad today, go to the store. I mean, they're like 12 bucks or whatever, so And that's effectively going to end today's video. I'll show, not in the next video, but the one after, I'll show myself moving them. But just some updates, some changes, some awesome new animals. Thanks to my buddy Tommy. He's an awesome guy. Definitely loves the hobby. Doesn't even care about breeding or making any money. So awesome guy. If you have a chance, follow his Instagram. It'll be a link below. But nevertheless, I'm James from Reptiles. I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to comment a name for that snake. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.